Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bearded Respect, number 172.
Hey, everybody. Get scrolled back up here. We got lots of people in already. I think that's Santa Tom, if I remember.
Hello.
Trey's Amigos. Oh, nope. There's Santa Tom. Oh, well. Hi, everybody. Then we got Jeff Harmon.
How you doing, Jeff?
Southern Maid. 777s. We got Jeffrey's Bearded. Jeffrey.
Hello.
There's Will. Jack Stud. Chris, True North. Hey, John Fox. We got Mrs. Bruce City. I don't think we're hearing your sound effects.
No? Of course not.
Hey, Fish and Ray. Hey, Triple B. How's it going? There's Kay.
Did you hear that?
No.
But you can hear me.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's weird.
Hey, Ray. There's Kevin P. That's me. Hey, Chief. There's Amber. Hey, Amber. Babysitter Jess. There's 30 Spray J. Hey, Jay. Hey, Bob and Terry. Frickin' frack. Robert Allen. Hey, Robert. I forgot you yet or not. Hey, Jeff. Jeff Harmon. There's Miles. Andy Barrett. Hey, Andy. I am the Eileen. Hi.
Hello.
There it is. We got that one, Scott.
Okay.
Hey, Toll Booth Willie.
How you doing?
There's Copper John's Melissa. Hey, Melissa. Good to see you.
Hello, neighbor.
Abe.
Hello, children.
Good to see you, Abe.
Welcome.
Hey, 3D.
Welcome.
And there's Jordan J. Bearded Wonder.
Say hello to my little friend.
Born Bearded.
How the hell are you?
Hey, Corey.
All right.
There's Tomahawk.
Woo!
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we gave Mike the night off. Hey, Dynamite.
You're okay in my book.
Hey, Frankie J.
How you doing, my friend?
Bowery. Making sure I don't miss anybody. Oh, there's Michael.
How the hell are you?
That's quite all right, Triple B. I mean, those things happen, you know. Things change in life. We're happy for you. Hope things are working out for you.
Yeah. Hope everything's going all right.
Let's do it!
Hey, Baker.
How you doing?
Hey, Romy.
Hello, neighbor.
Let's see. Oh, there's Pud. Hey, Pud.
Hello?
Hey, there's a golden fleece. It's just going to Eber to Beards.
Hello there.
There's Jacob. Hey, Jacob. And with that, I'm caught up and I didn't see him, but I'm going to say, hey, Kevin, because if Amber's here. But, yeah, all caught up.
Cool. And Mike is with his wife in South Dakota. I'm trying to remember. Deadwood, South Dakota. So he has the night off, and we don't have a guest tonight, so we're just going through the bid or whatever we want to do tonight. We have someone who asked to be on the show tonight, so why don't we bring him on right away and see where we go with this one. Welcome back, Jacob.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well.
I mean, you put a call out for people to join. I figured, why not? I don't have anything else going on tonight. I'm just sitting here soaking my foot. Hopefully, not going to want to chop my foot off tomorrow. I love gout. It's a wonderful thing. It's wonderful. I advise nobody to try it ever. So, anyway, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good, I hope.
I'm doing good. Chief says, let's go.
He always wants to go, man. That dude never slows down. I gotta tell you something. Their Chief is a really cool dude, but his daughter knows how to make colognes and stuff like that. So that man blessed my wife and I with a custom scent that I think one's done. She might be doing another one, but his daughter knows how to make custom scents. So like he asked what we liked, and I'm so excited about getting them in the mail. I hope that was okay, Chief. I'm really excited about that. It was a really cool thing. So, but the dog. Well, man, let me tell you about my dog. He's doing okay, but they removed the microchip. They did like some exploratory surgery into the lump on his neck after a round of antibiotics and some steroids. The main part of the infection seems to have gone down, but when they did the surgery, all the infection or whatever it is that was causing this giant lump on his neck for so long is under the muscle. It's not on top of the muscle. So they can't remove it. So they did some tissue samples, they did a biopsy, and the biopsy was not cancerous, but the tissue is necrotic. So next step for us is to take him up to the University of Florida next month to their School of Veterinary Medicine. Really good school, a really good place to take animals. What they typically do is they, obviously they have a school there, so they have a lot of good board certified veterinary surgeons. So we're hoping that he might be able to get the type of care he could get down here, but much cheaper and with a lot more, expertise. But he's a special dog. I mean, I know everybody loves their dogs, and I was talking to Ray about this quite a bit, but I mean, he was supposed to be my service dog last year when I was in heart failure, and before I lost a bunch of weight. So, he was a 30-year plus dream to have. So, we're just hoping that it doesn't cost us too much more money, but I'm just not prepared to let him go. But thankfully, he is back to his crazy self. I don't know if any of you know what Australian Shepherds are like, but they're absolutely bonkers and just an amazing dog. And I love him to death. So,
How you doing, Mark?
Well, I hope everything goes well.
yeah, same. For sure. I'm going to drop a code to you guys, and if it's okay, I'll drop a code for 25%. And if you guys want to take advantage of it, I'll leave it up for till Thursday of next week.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Appreciate that.
Hey, why not, right? I mean, so many great people in the community, and I know that, I know everybody wants to try as much stuff as they can. So if I can obviously help there, I'd would love the business, but it's all going towards my dog. So what am I going to do with that? Gotta be able to fund it. Yeah, right. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't tried it yet, yeah, jump on it. And you can't beat 25% off.
Yeah, I just got some of their deodorant. It's some great stuff. The salve is very good as well. And I enjoy all the oils I've gotten so far.
Yeah, the deodorant's a big deal. I mean, do you mind me telling that story? I mean, I don't want to hijack this entire thing. I mean,
no. Also, you want to tell people there's someone in here asking what your company is.
Yeah. So Bain is my last name. So, as I told you guys 2 months ago, thank you for that platform, by the way. The business that came in from that was truly incredible, and it really did help out a lot. I really appreciate that. My wife's crazy friend, when the thing was put out there to call it my last name and call it Bain Blends, so that's what we did. And so it's family named, family owned and operated. My wife does a lot of the scent profiles. I've done a lot of the research in oil creation and coming up with the deodorant recipe, the salve recipe, stuff like that. So a lot of that was my couple years worth of research. But yeah, it's www.bainblends.com. I make everything in-house. Really diverse product with lots of healthy ingredients. So I try to focus on the oil first, and whatever scent works with that is what works. I I don't think scent first. I think oil first, and my oil is going to stay the same. I'm not going to change it. If I change anything, it'll be to add something, not take away. So, yep. How's the deodorant been working for you guys?
Great so far. Nope.
Great. It's
That's
and
what
I've tried.
for.
Yeah, I've tried a lot lately, and I don't think I need to try any more. I think I found what I need.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it seems to last longer than the other stuff I was using.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that's the lavender one. And if you're ever interested in what it's supposed to look like, so this was a poured one I never did anything with. So to answer Toll Booth Willie, I just got all the containers to restock, and this weekend it's going to go back on the website, and the price is going to go up a little bit, but it's going to go from a 4-ounce bottle to an 8-ounce bottle. And I don't know who's used the wash, but it's a really light strip. It's not heavy duty stripping of the beard. It's a really good, clean shampoo and conditioner. There's not a whole lot to it, but very hydrating. My wife and I mean, and my kids, we all use it on our hair. It's a really great, clean shampoo and conditioner. Has no phthalates, has no parabens, has no artificial chemicals in there. Everything that's in those two products is a naturally derived ingredient. So you'll see some strange names on there, but they're coconut. It's all derived from coconut. But they're two really great washes, and I'm really proud of those two things. But they're going to be back up on the website this weekend in bigger sizes.
Oh, that's great. I know I'll try them eventually. I've just got like 6 bottles of wash currently.
Yeah. Well, and that's the dilemma for reviewers, right? I mean, you guys have to balance. Scott, I really want you and Jason to kind of lay that out for reviewers. You guys have to balance the totality of getting a beard oil and trying it long enough to be able to ascertain if it works.
Yeah.
And then you have to balance that across however many owners are approaching you guys and asking you to try their stuff. So how does that work for you guys? Like, how do you manage that?
It's great when companies just send us stuff, but a lot of times we're spending the money ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to give the most unbiased opinion we can of these products. Try to at least use them for a week before our show, if possible. Sometimes when companies just send us stuff, it might come a few days before. So we just try and give as much information as we possibly can. And we talk to other people, get other people's opinions on some of the stuff as well. Just trying to make sure it's as unbiased as possible, and we give you as much feedback as we can.
What about you, Jason?
Yeah. Like, so we never ask for any product. If we reach out and ask for a company to be on and they offer to send stuff, that's one thing. But we never ask. And if we do, if we do get their stuff, like Scott said, we, unless they offer it, we pay for everything. And yeah, we try to, I mean, honestly, other than scents, all companies that I have tried, I can't really say there's been a bad company, other than I might not like a certain scent or something. But Yeah, I've had. I mean, now, granted, there's going to be companies I like better than others, and it's it's nothing to do with the scent. I mean, the scent is might be good, but yeah, it's as far as the feel in the beard, and how the product works. And I mean, and then it's all going to be subjective too, because everybody's different, everybody's beard's different, and every company has different oil blends. It might even be the same oils, you know, but it might be different ratios, and everybody's beard's going to react differently. So all we can do is say how it works in our beards.
Right.
So yeah, you can. I mean, and I've always felt this, that a reviewer, which we're not really necessarily reviewers, we will give our opinions on companies that we have on as guests, but I always feel a, a, a review of a product you can take with a grain of salt, because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to react different. So we just give our opinions, and that's how I express it. That's my opinion, and it worked for me. And I will recommend you try it. I wouldn't say go buy 5 or 6 different oils, and or buy their whole catalog, but buy a sample kit or buy an oil, one that sounds like the scent might interest you, and give it a try. And it might not work for you as it did for me or Scott or Michael. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents on it.
But also try and find that reviewer that has um, similar um, similar to your beard. Um,
Yeah.
um, like I had difficulties when I first started. I never got that good feeling beard um, because I have low porosity hairs, and I didn't find that out for probably a year and a half in this channel. um, but I have to heat up my hairs to get them to open up and accept the products, whereas most people don't have to worry about that.
Right.
And that's when I started using beard straighteners and getting into um, where I try and get a shower in the morning sometimes, because that's what it seems like my beard does the best, is right after a hot shower.
Right. So that's actually a really good point. How do you? Let's talk about beard care. So I know that I was listening to uh, the Trace Amigos tonight, and Chief had brought up a really good point about how beard care is self care as well.
Mhm.
But in relation to that, like when you go take a hot shower and you're coming out refreshed, like what's y'all's routine? Like when you get out of the shower, and do you get your beard perfectly dry? Do how do you handle that? What is your routine? I'm interested.
For me personally, I try and keep my beard as moist as possible out of the shower, um, and then I'll put it in oil and let it air dry, um, and then after it's dry, then I some days I straighten it, some days I don't, um, and I I'll probably put it in like a butter or a balm later on, and that's pretty much what I do coming out of the shower.
What about you, Jason?
Okay, now I got a couple routines, I should say.
All right.
Now, normally, like the 5 days a week that I work, I shower. I'm a morning shower. I like to shower in the morning. I like to start the day fresh, and a lot of it has to do with I'm a hot sleeper, so I
Same.
wake up and I just feel sticky, like, so I always shower in the morning. Now, I have gotten lazy and I have gotten crunched for time lately. I'll admit I don't like getting out of bed in the morning, but so in the mornings, it's just like towel dry to where it's still damp, oil, comb, out the door. Now, Thursday nights, and if we're going somewhere, like on the weekend, having a date night or something. I'll take that shower, come out, oil on the damp beard, let that go for 5 minutes or so, or maybe I'll go clean my glasses or do a couple other things, and then I'll come back and I blow dry, and I'll blow dry it, and then it's a butter and or balm. I'll
Okay.
either use I'll either just butter it, but I've been doing Michael's trick lately. If I'm going somewhere, I use both. I give it the triple threat: the oil, the butter, then the balm. And so Thursday nights, that's what I do: oil, butter, and balm. And I'll tell you something else. Now, when I wake up in the morning tomorrow, since I'm up too late doing this show, I I don't take a shower Friday mornings because I take one right before the show. So, and some of my best beard days, hey,
What's up, Chris?
some of my best beard days are Friday mornings when I've got the oil, butter, and balm in, and then I wake up and just spritz it with a little water and comb it out. Man, those are my best beard days.
That's awesome. Now, why do you only do your best beard day one day a week? Why don't you do that routine throughout the week? Are you afraid of build up? Like, what's going on with that?
Well, I just, like I said, the Thursday is when I, do the triple threat. And that's really the only day I do the triple threat, unless, like I said, if it's the weekend and we're going out or something like that.
Gotcha.
So that's why I said the next morning since I got all them products in, and the next morning I just spritz it up and comb it. I mean, that balm is still in there, and it just looks good. Now I don't shower at night, so I don't do that every day. So yeah,
Well,
I guess
that's
why.
interesting. Now,
Yeah.
you were saying something else about how you're going to potentially be trimming your beard, right? Do you think that if you had a little bit more, maybe not build up, but if you were to put more product in your beard, that it might thicken it up and make it so you don't have to feel like you need to strip it or cut it?
No, I think I'm still. Yeah, the longer it gets, not all your hairs are going to grow at the same
Right. They don't grow
time.
even.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're always going to get that little bit of transparency, which for the competition that we're going to be in around the 4th of July there, I need to trim anyway because I
Right.
need to get into that other class. So it's going to work out good for me that, I'll probably see this is almost the middle of May. It pretty much is the middle of May already. So probably in about a month, probably the middle of June, I'll probably get a trim so that I got a couple weeks for, you know.
Now, trimming is a really interesting question. Do you go to a barber? I'm assuming, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. I've made the mistake of not using a barber a few times. Are you going to round it? Are you going to have your barber like try to highlight where your beard is growing the thickest and then trim it there? Like, how are you going to do that?
I just the last time I had it trimmed, I just had I just well, actually he took a good bit off too because I had him take a good bit off, almost 3 to 4 inches.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just kind of rounded it. I don't know, Scott. If I send you a picture, can you bring it up?
Yeah, I should be able to.
Let me see here. I think I did post it on my.
Well, he's looking for that. Scott,
Yeah.
what about you? Like, what's your plan with your beard? Are you going to keep it? Are you going to let it keep growing? How are you going to handle your beard long
I'm
term?
gonna let it keep growing. I was debating whether or not to get it trimmed, just a slight trim again for the competition, but that'd only be for the competition, basically.
I got you.
Um,
Yeah, it's interesting seeing I think Jason or Scott, excuse me, you and I have kind of similar beards.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting, with what you guys were saying, like how everybody's beard is different and receives products differently. Um, while Jason's pulling that up, how do you navigate something you don't like something that doesn't work well with you? How do you navigate that discussion with an owner? Like, how does that work?
I just try and give them my honest, unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
What doesn't work for me could work for Mike, could work for Jason. You just never know. And um, I guess most owners try and get in the middle ground where they're going to work for the most customers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have like just a handful, like 5 customers over here who it doesn't work for, you don't want to cater your whole company to that.
Right.
And some companies, if you ask them, they will leave a certain thing out if they can cater towards you a little bit, if they know you're going to be a good customer for them. No, I'm
Yeah.
not planning on rocking a French fork.
Do that. It could do like 2 separate little beer details.
Yeah, normally you do that if you're competing in freestyle.
I gotcha. Yeah. Oh, some of the pictures I've seen from some of the events, those are amazing. I paid attention, but I didn't really pay attention until I started looking up some of the stuff that Brother Amber's been putting out, and going and looking at pictures of events and stuff like that. Of some of that's amazing. Like it really is quite amazing. Like the different events and all the time and effort people put into their beards.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll see some guys, their beards like down to the floor.
Yeah.
and, and then the next guy, it'll be short as can be. And
Yeah.
I was at nationals and saw one guy win a category because he was the only guy.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was a business beard category.
I got you.
You would think that would be a little more people in it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people like that though. They're like, well, it's a small beard. I'm not entering a contest. They don't
Right.
know about the categories. They think they see somebody like Brewer, or Bearded Chief. They see a beard like that, and I ain't going to go into that competition. Well, then you find out there's different categories, and you're not even going to be competing with them.
Right.
So.
And with Worlds, they've even got an over 60 category, which is kind of different.
Yeah.
And Jason, you've placed in a Silver Fox category.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Foxy.
Yep.
It's a Foxy,
where I got
man
in Nashville.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I texted you them pictures, Scott.
Okay.
So, I'm going to answer this question for Chief. I seen. Yes, I'm cutting. I'm pretty. I'm right around 13 right now. So yeah, I don't want to be in a 12 to 18 category with 13 inches. You know what I mean? So you gotta go strong in the category below. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going under 12, Chief.
If I can bring something up, and it was a question I was asked on another show that's going to be coming out next month. It's a podcast and a couple other things. They asked me what my why I desired to grow a beard. So I wanted to ask you guys that question. Like, what inspired you both to want to grow a beard? Was it an influence of your past? Was it dad, grandpa? Was it somebody in a movie that you saw? Like, what was your inspiration for wanting to grow a beard?
I honestly don't know. I was 16 when I grew my first beard. Now it was kind of like a chin strap, but I've had a beard since I was 16 years old of some form or another. Now I have, like, a couple times I did go bald face, but that was only a handful of times. Now there were years, there was probably like a 10-year span. Every winter I'd grow full beard. Every summer I'd shave it down to a goatee. But I've always kept it short, like a business beard. I always clipped it. One time I did try to let it grow, and it just got all wild. It was just wild. It was a wild mess. Well, then I trimmed it. Well, then I thought, man, I want to try this again. So I did. Then I got on YouTube and found everything, and blow dryer and straightener and that stuff. But yeah, so now I've learned how to take care of it. But as far as why, there was nothing that inspired me. I just wanted to do it, and I could do it, and I don't know. Maybe laziness. Maybe that's why I quit doing the goatee. I got tired of shaving the goatee. I just thought, I'm just going to let it go. I'm done shaving, because I used to do that because I'm thinking it's hot in the summer. I need to limit my facial hair, but no, I got tired of shaving the goatee part. So I just so maybe that's my inspiration. I was lazy. I got tired of shaving. However, that's no excuse for my head. I'm not lazy about shaving it. I gotta shave it. So, but
Gotcha. What about you, Scott?
For me, a lot of well, originally growing up, my mom would give all her sons a hard time about beards or not shaving every day. Um, but once I got out of the army, I always grew a goatee for years. I'd keep it. I'd start it in the fall, let it go till like spring, and then I'd normally shave it off and then grow it again in the fall. Um, and I started seeing Becky, Mrs. Bruce City, and she talked me into just letting full beard grow out. Got me some products from a company called Lit, and eventually it led me to start the show here with Jason, and the rest is pretty much history.
As a follow up to that, when did you realize you needed beard products? Like when was it a necessity, or when was it a priority to get something in your beard? Like when did that start for you?
For me, it was pretty early in the beard journey, because I would get a beard rift pretty bad, and I'd have flakes on my shirt and stuff. And then after I had the first time getting beard oil, it was like, wow, why didn't I know about this before?
Mm-hmm. Similar, yeah. What about you, Scott or Jason? Sorry.
I just even though I've had a beard all my life, I never really used anything because I kept it short. I always kept it short, so it was like I never really noticed or had beard drift and things like that until, I'm going to say, maybe 5, 6 years ago or so. Just happened to be walking, even back when I was still shaving the goatees and stuff. You go to the store and uh, see shaving products, and you see beard products, and of course, in Walmart, I started out with the Cremo, okay, but then once I started trying to let it grow and get on the YouTubes, Dan C. Bearded, got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I fell down the rabbit hole and found good products, and yeah, really make your beard feel good. And so yeah,
I think Scott's going to show us something.
I'm trying.
yeah,
I asked those questions because, I didn't grow a beard for a long time because my beard itched so bad.
hmm
I would keep a little bit on my chin, and that was it. And every time I tried growing a beard, my beard would just itch so bad. So I think I found maybe one or two products that were and I just realized how much that it was the beard oil that would keep the itch away. That's when I started growing it. Was when I finally got something that would keep the itch away. But I only found like one or two products that I really liked. So, what do we got? Oh, wow.
that was the last time I had it trimmed. But yeah, you can tell. I mean, he took a good bit off, but look how much thicker it looks.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
great, man. Yeah, that's a good looking beard. So, how often is that trim for you? Is like once a year, twice a year? How often do you do that?
Yeah, about once a year, maybe twice. I think that was oh when was that? That was, let me see when I that one was almost a year ago. That was July 20th of last year.
Wow,
So yeah, it's been almost a year.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you got a lot of growth since then, man. I mean, it's really filled out a lot.
yeah,
So I'm guessing the picture on the left is before the trim. Picture on
yeah,
the, this is like okay, and now you're about a year after the picture on the right, correct? Ish.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's
Yeah,
amazing, man.
well, about 10 months, I guess. 10 months.
About 10 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, how long has your beard grown out in the past, or is this the longest you've had it, or
I just recently had it trimmed, but before that, it was probably at least probably 7 months
okay?
between trims. Um, I normally get it trimmed at least twice a year.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think for a lot of, I mean, maybe I don't speak for all men on this, but I think just a lot of it has to do with looking rugged and, you know, having this masculine thing that a lot of men can't grow a beard. Um, so for me, it was something I was interested in doing, but I couldn't because of the itch and, the dandruff was so bad. But like, I remember being a little kid, seeing pictures growing up with my dad with this black, really thick, bushy beard. And I really don't have a lot of memories of it too much, but because he later on in life he just had a mustache. He would clean shave everything else, but I always saw that and went, man, what a good looking, like rugged looking beard. Um, but then I realized like we're Scottish. My last name is Scottish, so you start looking at where you came from, like your history, and a lot of Scots had really big, rugged beards. Maybe
Yeah.
not Norse, like Scandinavian beards, but really big, rugged beards. So I just naturally wanted to grow a beard when I got out of the Marine Corps, but again, couldn't do it because of the itch. I didn't know about beard oil. So, yeah, I mean, I always felt that I wanted to have one for a very long time. But it would never grow past, maybe a week's worth of growth before I would cut it all off except for my chin. So, but I don't think I'll be entering any competitions anytime soon.
Wait, it's it's also a good way to promote your company.
Well, sure. I mean, but that came after the fact. I mean, I
Yeah.
wasn't planning on
Mm.
doing a beard oil company until I started growing a beard out for about a year and a half to 2 years. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, Joey in the chat, he was asking if anyone else didn't like being called ZZ Top. I actually had that happen very recently, and I actually don't have a problem with it, like
Yeah.
most people do. For me, I grew up as a product of the '70s and '80s, and
Mhm.
ZZ Top was always an icon.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a house where we were big ZZ Top fans. Um, my my brother would go to every ZZ Top concert in the area.
Hmm.
So for me, that's just a compliment. Whereas for a lot of people, it I don't think it is.
It's an attempted dig, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Jason, does that happen to you?
I don't get the ZZ Top so much. What I get, and I don't get the Duck Dynasty either. I get the Santa Claus
Yeah, I could see
because of
that.
I get Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah. I it's funny you say that because there's a guy at my church that's got a Santa Claus beard, and it's a very floofy beard. It's not thick like my beard, or really even like yours or Scott or Jason's either. But he's got a very long, very it's almost like looking at like a light snow. It's not thick, but it's a really nice, beautiful Santa Claus beard. And I was just really kind of surprised at that discussion about. Oh, look at a super chat.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you, Beardo.
Yes.
I was really surprised at how many of the Santas think that beard oil is going to stain their beard. What do you guys think about that? Have you seen a lot of that? I know DNC addressed it, but
well, there are some oils out there in the community that will do some yellowing to white beards. But for the most part, if you know what you're buying, you're not going to have much to worry about. But if you're buying like a cheap product, there might be some things in there that would change the color of your beard. But if you're buying a good quality product, you really shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Gotcha.
Hey, Tyson.
How you doing?
What's the story? I want to ask you guys this question because Jason, you've got this really cool backdrop. Like, tell me about your backdrop.
Well, to start with, this area I'm in, it's upstairs in the house. We got a Cape Cod. Just been in it about 3 years now, but we had this part finished because my wife works from home, so she needed an office. And then I made this desk. I got 3 pieces of butcher block top, and I made a T because she has a Cricut and stuff, and she can make shirts and things like that. So she wanted a crafty area. So I made this desk like a T. And on this side of me over here is her area for work. She's got 2 monitors and her computer and stuff. That's her workstation set up. And then when Scott asked me about doing this show, this side was supposed to be her crafty area, which it really isn't big enough for crafty area anyhow, not as much stuff as she has now. But so this turned into my streaming area. So then, of course, I'm sure there's other women out there or other husbands out there that know their women. They love the Hobby Lobby. So this was all Hobby Lobby stuff. And of course, I've always been into cars and things like that. But Yeah, and then that bearded respect thing over here, that was a piece of wood, and those are like license plate letters, which they're newly manufactured from Hobby Lobby. You could buy them letters, so we kind of put that together ourselves, the bearded respect. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
all these other signs, they're just Hobby Lobby signs. And then I got, well, you can see a box back here, but then I got this shelf behind me that has stuff on it. But yep, that's all. Simple stuff.
Scott, what about you?
This is a new shelving unit I recently put together. I'm still trying to get it together. A lot of the products I had on my old shelf aren't up here yet. And I also have a boat shelf that I have some stuff on, but it's still a work in progress for me.
You got a lot of product up there.
Yeah, there's probably well, I have a lot of empty bottles up there right now.
I got you.
Ones that I enjoy displaying. So they're stuff you can't even get anymore. Most of them.
Right on. Yeah, it looks cool. I like how you did all the lighting. I have that dynamic lighting behind me too, but it's all wrapped up. I don't have it spread out.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured it was better to kind of show off some of my stuff. And I have one light over my desk that kind of produces glare, so that's why I turn off the lights and have these other lights in here.
Right.
And last week, some of the lighting wasn't working properly, so yeah. So that's why mine's probably a little darker than most people's.
Now I know some guys in the bearded community that are reviewers. They send bottles to each other. So if like one guy doesn't like a certain thing, to save money. I mean, obviously, do you guys swap bottles? Like, hey, I tried this, I like it. Would you like to try it? Like, do you guys do that?
Not a lot. Mainly we do most of our exchanging when we meet up. We try and meet up
Yep.
once a year. I don't know if we made it in the last year, but we did have a big meetup in Nashville when I got married, and we exchanged a bunch of stuff. And I'm sure when we're in Pittsburgh, we'll try and exchange stuff as well. For me, there isn't much I don't like, long as it's a quality product. Most stuff works in my beard. I have been given a few strange products from some reviewers in the past, but for the most part, most of the stuff I enjoy. Long as it feels good in my beard and it's got a pleasant scent, I don't mind it too much.
Yeah. Yeah, we were discussing the burnt orange patchouli.
Yes.
So, for you, good scent. This is one of my products, in case anybody's asking. But for your wife, if you wear it, what does she say? And I'm asking because
she enjoys the scent normally. I don't know if it's just the essential oils or what, but the scent was just getting to more.
projecting too much, maybe.
Yeah.
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 So, and that's something else I want to ask you guys about, because how do you guys deal with that, with all these different beard oils and trying this stuff out with your spouses or your loved ones? Like, how does that work if you get something that they don't like? I mean, talk about that.
Well, I'll ask if how do you like this scent? I ask her that a lot.
Yeah.
And her nose is a lot more. She can pick up things that I wouldn't pick up with my nose.
Right.
I don't know if it's just women just smell things differently than guys.
They do. They really do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
So she'll get nuances that I won't even recognize are there.
Right.
And it's just a great information. And me and Becky, we have a lot of the same we like a lot of the same scent profiles. We both really enjoy like leather and other stuff. And it's pretty rare that she gets yes, she does. It is pretty rare that there's something we don't both like. Normally it's just that we if I don't like something, normally it's one she doesn't like. On occasion it's the other way around, but not too often.
Right. Yeah, my Jason, I don't know about you, but like if my wife doesn't like it, I don't make it. Like
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. She what's that?
Well,
Oh yeah. She was saying like there's something I just recently made that well, you notice I haven't worn it again, right? Well, sometimes I experiment with stuff and I realize that I'm just don't have her nose.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's one of the great things about this is like I have to really rely on her because that her nose is just exceptional. Like, and I try not to blow out the room if I wear something. So my kids will tell me if it's too strong, So I'm pretty happy about that. But Jason, how about you, man?
real quick, I'm going to Jacob leather. Yeah, it would be since you're smelling it all day, every day.
Yeah.
But leather, my wife hates leather. Right there, that's it. She hates it. When I wear it, I had a leather scent from Angry Redhead. I think it might have been my first leather scent. And I really liked it. I would wear it. She's up here working. I get ready for work and I head out the door and I get to work and I'm getting a text. You put leather on this morning, didn't you? She can smell it. And so she hates it. And it really bothers me because I have a couple scents that are leather. And one is our collab with True North. Leather, vanilla, and peppermint.
Interesting.
And
that's
yeah,
not even a strong leather scent.
I know, but if I put that on, she has to comment about it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to navigate. If you wear something that she really doesn't like something like that, do you have to go wash it off or do you make her deal with it?
I pretty much, I mean, like if I put it on in the morning and go to work, when I come home, it's pretty much gone, because I'm a blue collar worker. I get grinding dust. I get, weld sparks and, I get work stink on me all day. So if I wear it in the morning, that's the only time she has to deal with it is in the very morning when she smells it when I leave. But if we're going out or if we're going to be around each other, I don't wear that stuff. So
yeah, that's interesting. That would be hard to navigate, especially if you're doing a collaboration, you're gonna have to wear it. I get it.
Yeah.
In the case of like your collab with True North, does she just understand that you need to wear it? Does she?
Yeah. I even have. Oh, what's it called? It's from Dave from Luxurious Bastard. That crap, I forget what it is, but it's his blueberry and leather scent.
Bilberry,
yeah, and I got that from Big Stew. I was at Big Stew's bacon party, and he was brought out a bunch of his luxurious bastard and was having me smell some, and of course she's smelling them, and he wanted me to take one, and the one that I really liked was that bilberry, and she says, if you really like that, you can bring that home. But every time I put it on, she'll say something, and I say, you told me I could bring that one home. So
Interesting.
But if I know Becky really enjoys, there's certain scents that she really enjoys. I'll wear those a lot. Um, it's just certain scents that she seems to enjoy more than others. Um, and they're they wouldn't be ones I would think she would enjoy
Right.
sometimes. But
Yeah.
she'll be like, "What's that one? That one's really nice."
Right. Yeah, I think that the navigation of that would be almost more important than how we feel about stuff, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, we do so much with our spouses or our significant others in mind. That would be a big part of it, as you know, especially in you guys' realm. Because I mean, I don't wear anything else really other than what I make, so I know she's gonna like it, right?
mhm.
Um, so that would be tough, guys. I mean, I'm sure you'd probably have to navigate that a lot throughout the year. You know, I was doing Chad Beardheads and Threads did a review, and Man Cave, which is one of my best scents, smells like what's that? One of those muscle creams,
Ben
uh,
Gay.
something like that. It smells like that to her. But then he was like, "Well, his favorite cologne, which is like a really good cologne, smells that way to her too." So, and Chad's got ridiculous amount of stuff on his wall. So I can't imagine that would be easy to navigate all the time, especially if you like something and she doesn't. So
That's awesome, Jacob. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's awesome.
wow, congratulations, Jacob. That's awesome. Jacob, how long does it take you to make stuff like that? Like, you know, to make one and then you have to make 50. Hopefully you can answer.
Funny, I was just asking about those coffee cups this week.
Yeah. Something that came up in Tres Amigos, butters. Does it matter if it's poured? Does it matter if it's whipped? Does it matter?
I don't think so. I do enjoy a whipped butter on occasion. I tend to not buy as many butters during the summer months, so I don't know if it really matters as far as feeling beard or what. But I don't know. A whipped one just feels lighter sometimes. I know I've been enjoying a lot of liquid butters lately. And I'll probably use those more during the summer.
Right.
Some of them are almost just like using a beard oil. So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a whole lot of difference there. One company asked us about it. Um, his opinion was that if you don't actually melt down the butter, is it really a liquid butter or is it just a beard oil?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. That's a good question. As long as it works for the person who's using it, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to put both on
Right.
whatever state you have them in.
Right. Yeah. It's Jason. I mean, for me, I don't like either. I like having a hybrid, but I whip
Yeah.
my butter. I whip my butter because you know I put a little bit of beeswax in it, and I want it to have a little bit of body. But because I whip it so much, it melts really well. Even if it melts during shipping a little bit, as Brewer told me, and when I was on the show last time, it felt gritty, but it melted.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I guess it kind of boils down to preference. But Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as far as your butter, yeah, it does have like a little grit in it, but boy, as soon as I put a little dab in my palm and go, it's like it's already liquefied. So
Yeah.
yeah, it really emulsifies really super well.
But
Uh,
do you care about a whip versus a pour? Does it matter to you?
yeah. As far as the whip, it doesn't matter as long as like I've had some butters, and I can't think of which ones right offhand that were a little thick and took a little bit to emulsify, but as the whipped, the poured, it does not matter. It just, I mean, the whipped is neat. It's neat because it is like fluffy and airy, and it's different. But I I don't feel it's necessary because it's all the same. If the company is making this butter, okay, they could pour it or they could whip it. And essentially, it's the same stuff because it's the same ingredients. It's just the texture of it. And
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, it's all the same product, so it shouldn't matter. But it is a neat. Like I have gotten whipped butters from the Bearded Mac, and man, they're funny. That's funny. Just that it's weird because the first butters I've bought were just all poured. You kind of scoop some out with your finger, and it's just it's almost like a butter. But this
Right.
the whip stuff, it is neat. It is an experience, but yeah, it really doesn't matter to me. But definitely, I mean, but there's some companies that offer whipped butter like that will not sell it in the summertime. It's strictly a wintertime product for them
Yeah.
because it melts. And then once it melts and you stick it in your freezer or refrigerator, then it's not a whipped butter anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, Ray just brought it up. I mean, that's why I put put a little bit of beeswax in it because it holds
yeah.
better. And I because I use that herbal oil blend in my butter, like I feel like I get better results whipping it personally. But is it more effective? I mean, I don't know if it's more effective, right? I just know it takes me 4.5 to 5 hours to whip a pot of butter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a matter of preference, but I
You
think there is
nailed it, Kay.
something, I think there is something to getting air in it. Maybe the ingredients work. I don't know. Maybe they work better. I'm not a chemist. I have no idea. I just don't. I personally don't like pouring butter. I like whipping it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a novelty. I don't know. I'm gonna suffer through it in the summer because I just don't feel good about not whipping it. So maybe I'm making myself suffer too much. I don't know. I mean, to pour 15 4-ounce butters, it's literally 5.5 to 6 hours of just constant whipping. And then I have to put it in the fridge, and then I have to take it out and do it again. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. I like the end product, I like the end product. But so
One other point of view is if I use a whipped butter compared to a poured butter, I seem to go through the whipped butter probably in half the time than I do the poured butter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because you use less. Like it melts faster in your hands. You're able to get it incorporated easier. You don't have to, do this as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And yeah, well, I agree with what Ray just said. If you have a 4-ounce poured or 4-ounce whipped, it's not by weight, and that whipped is lighter. And I think
Yeah.
there is less product in the container.
Yeah. I get it pretty close to the 4 ounces. It generally might be a little bit less, but I try to get it to the 4 ounces as best I can, you know. I think there's maybe been only a couple of instances where I've not got it right up to nudged it right up to 4, 3.94, 3.95, you know. But by volume, if I were to pour that in a 4-ounce jar with how dense the butters can get, you might actually have more in there.
Yeah.
So it's a very strange dilemma because
Mhm.
butter can be very thick and very dense product. So, you know, I try to get to it as best I can on a wet product. But poured butter almost seems like it should be in a tin, right?
Yeah, I think it's easier in a tin. I don't know. I don't have a preference over if it's in plastic or metal personally,
Yeah.
but I think I rather have it in a tin rather than the plastic. But whatever is going to work best for shipping for a company,
Yeah.
that's fine by me. Um, it doesn't make a difference to me what
For
it's in.
first Cool Serenity I sent to Steven, that metal guy, the container broke. Because I used glass.
Yeah,
So that was a little disappointing.
I've gotten tons of glass containers, and I have never had one break.
Yeah.
I've had oil bottles break.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
broke
had
one.
I had one that got to a customer and it looked like the Postal Service had kicked it.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
can see that happening.
But that's why I use UPS. I've not had good luck with the Postal Service. So
Is there a big cost difference between the two?
it depends. I mean, I've gone to ship something and UPS was cheaper one day and Postal Service was cheaper the next.
Oh,
So
that's
they're
weird.
to the same location. So
I always thought UPS would be the more expensive one.
yeah, they're better at delivery. Like stuff gets what
Yeah.
it's supposed to get.
Oh,
So
yeah, and I'm sure it doesn't get thrown around half as much.
yeah. Yeah. So what's next for you guys? You guys have the big event in July. What's going on between now and then?
Um, Not much really, other than a few companies on the show between here and there.
Yeah.
Um, Not much. And then I've got another event at the end of July, another beard competition. Um, with my beard club, the Renegade Beard Club, is having a competition in Kentucky.
Yep. Of which I am a member.
Yes, yes. I actually found out this week one of our other guests we had on in the past was a member.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Cool group of guys. Really
Yeah.
cool group of guys.
Definitely. A very interesting group of guys as well.
Yeah.
We get a lot of differing opinions throughout the club. So
Yeah. That's one of the cool things about, this business I found is that you're always going to have different opinions and that, as long as you can be respectful, you might learn something,
oh yeah, we're always learning stuff. It's so great to learn and meet a lot of these owners. Everybody, I mean, we've been blessed by a lot of these company owners, and they've been great to talk to.
What's up, Gokin? How you doing, buddy?
Um, And yes, we have True North on next week.
Whoop whoop! Exciting.
So I'm going to say, on that note, everybody better get a nap for next week. I have a feeling.
Wait, you think it's going to be a late one?
It might be. It might be.
Well, I'm sitting here like my ankle is blowing up right now.
Mm.
It's swollen so much since I've sat down with you guys tonight.
Yeah, you got to get some kind of prescription from the doctor.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that bad. I mean, I understand getting the flare-ups. I know people who've had them. But they have to live through that much pain for something that normally a pill will take care of.
Yeah, well, I have some of my prescription they gave me left over, and my doctor was like, "You need to stop taking it, right? Once it goes away." So I did, and I have 4 pills left. I went and took one. It's sucks, man. And I felt fine at like 5 o'clock. I no pain at all. And I got home. I had to go run an errand. I got home, and all of a sudden my ankle started to hurt. Just insane. It's how fast it settles in. What's funny is like it was Tuesday of last week or Monday or Tuesday of last week when I got the flare up, and it was 2:00 in the morning. My wife was working on a cup for one of the members of this awesome community, and I texted my wife. I said, either come in and shoot me or shoot my foot. Now, I have a pretty high tolerance for pain.
Yeah.
That was terrible. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was an 8.5. Maybe even a 9.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I hear you. I thought I was I generally have a very high tolerance for pain. And recently I had an incident. Jason can tell you the picture. He thought I was having a stroke. I showed him a picture from the hospital bed. Didn't tell either of them what was going on.
jeez.
The tailgate, or the car trunk, as Becky likes to call it. I was pulling it down. It was very windy outside. There was like probably 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and I think I got pushed just enough under where I hit my head with it. Just on the absolute corner. I could have almost missed it. But I ended up having to go to the ER and get 3 staples put in, and it ended up being a whole ordeal.
When did that happen?
Over a week ago, basically.
Yeah.
Right before the day before our show last week.
Jeez, dude. Did you get a concussion from it, you think?
Oh, I'm sure I had a concussion.
Yeah. Now, have you ever hit your shin on a trailer hitch?
Oh yeah, I've burned my shin on tailpipes where I actually had like probably a welt like that.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I was drinking, so I couldn't really feel much till the next day. But
Right, gotcha.
But normally, like the doctor was asking me if I wanted to get stitches or staples, because with stitches he has to numb them up. Normally it takes me a long time for them to numb me up.
Yeah.
So I would have probably had like 20 shots before it was numb.
Hey Baker, what's going on, buddy?
So he's like, well, either that or you could just deal with the pain and I can put in these three staples quick. And they put one in and I'm like, oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
Then anywhere else probably wouldn't have bothered me as much as the head.
Oh yeah, a lot of nerves.
And then they quickly put in the rest of them.
Yeah. I think probably the worst non-injury incident I've ever had is probably around maybe 16 years ago. One of my dogs got loose, and we were living at my parents moved out, but my wife and I were living there, and I couldn't find one of my dogs, so I ended up over at the neighbor's house, and no lights anywhere, just pitch black everywhere, and my dog was black, like pitch black. So I ended up looking for him over there, and as I was walking through the field, hit my shin on their they had this thing coming out of the ground for their water, for their well. And it was like hitting it on a trailer hitch, but I was walking really fast. And I hit that, and I swear I saw a Tweety bird flying in the air. You know, like in the Looney Tunes commercials, when one of the characters gets hit in the head and he sees a bunch of little birds fly. I swear I saw those.
Yeah.
I heard colors. Okay. And I tasted sounds, was how bad that hurt. They could have used that as a torture method, and they would have gotten anything from anybody.
Yeah. Oh.
That was an 11. It probably wouldn't have hurt. It probably would have hurt less to get my leg cut off. I honestly thought my leg was broken. It was awful. What's up, Chad? Yes, it's me, buddy. So, good times.
And we do have Chad scheduled on the show as well.
Yeah, Chad's got some fun stuff getting ready to get started. Looking forward to it.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if what I'm allowed to talk about, but he can do that.
Yeah. We'll just let him talk about it when he's on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Chad's a good guy. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, I think, leading up to. I'm going to try to get to the Renegades thing up in Kentucky, but I'm supposed. My father-in-law has paid for a cruise in July, so I'm probably going to end up going on that unless they decide not to approve my leave. So we'll see. I haven't told you guys what I do for a living, so. So, yeah, that's been fun. It's going to be an interesting couple of months because I want to sponsor, something at the Renegade get together, but I think I'm also going to sponsor something at the event coming up in July or in September. So,
which one?
What was that?
Which one?
The one in Central Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, Hemp Wizard is putting it on. So
yeah, I would be going if I wasn't going to another one the same weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Brewer is judging.
Oh, cool.
In South Dakota.
Oh, in South Dakota.
So I'll be heading out that way.
Beautiful area, man. Beautiful area.
Yeah. You don't only do beer care for a living.
Yeah, no, Ray, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I would obviously love for my company to blow up. And I think, over time, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I think word of mouth will get out there where my company does pretty well long term. But I really enjoy what I do for a living. I've been doing the same thing for 15 years, and I really it extends my service, my military service. I get to do something that, helps veterans. So I've enjoyed doing what I've been doing for 15 years. And, you know, the good thing about it is that my wife can address any business related stuff while I'm working, you know, my normal job. So it's, you know, to have that, to have my family able to do things that I just can't do during the day while I'm, you know, honoring my first commitment, is great. And that's, I think, one of the things I like about, you know, doing what I'm doing is that I get off work at 2:30 and then I get to talk to you guys and I get to engage with the community and I get to, you know, we get to work on new products and get stuff ready to get, you know, done for the next day. And it's a family affair. You know, one of my kids was filling salve bottles tonight. So,
And that's some great stuff.
yeah.
We recently got some of that, and I know I've been enjoying it,
Yeah.
and I believe Becky has as well.
Yeah. Yeah, not much to it. Well, I mean, I can't really say that. There's a lot to it. It's a very complicated product, but it's just nature, you know. I mean, it's things that are in nature that you can use towards your benefit. And I think we all too, you know, as I'm sitting here using a pharmaceutical for gout, which really pisses me off. I even hate the fact I'm even doing that. But you know, my wife just went and bought a whole bunch of tart cherry and a whole bunch of celery juice, and I just took a, you know, whole bunch of vitamin C. I would like to be able to do things naturally, and you know, to, you know, for especially with people dealing with something like eczema or psoriasis, it's a real big deal. It's life altering for people, and you know, when you have a loved one that's dealing with something, you always want to try to do the best thing for them, you know. And for me to be able to go and make something that benefited my wife, really meant more than anything else. You know, the fact that she's not taking steroids anymore. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, there's some really serious conditions that can happen from topical steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very serious conditions. You can cause unrelenting, massive overgrowth of skin cells in the areas that being treated, to the point where you will have to go get laser surgery every couple of weeks to get it to stop. There's some nasty things that can happen. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of people don't know that there's natural methods to deal with things. So, but, you know, to go into the deodorant discussion, you know, breast cancer affects a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that have lost their spouses, lost loved ones, lost their mothers, lost their grandmothers, you know, lost their sisters that may not have needed to, but we've been told that we need to put all this toxic crap in our armpits so we don't smell bad. And there are ways to deal with it. And when you know, I met my wife the day she turned 18, and you know, she had messaged me on AOL Instant Messenger when, you know, a couple weeks before she turned 18, and I said, honey, I ain't gonna meet you until you're 18, so we can talk. But I was not prepared for that mess. So she invited me up on her 18th birthday, and I met her parents, and her parents loved me, and we've been together ever since. I mean, she turns 39 this year, or she turns 40 this year. But a year after we met, as a 19-year-old, she had a lump removed from her breast. And, you know, her grandmother died of breast cancer. And her mom also has had a double mastectomy from breast cancer. And thankfully she's a survivor. But, you know, for years after that, we would never use deodorant that had aluminum or parabens or what we now are called phthalate, right? They're microplastics, and those things get into your lymph nodes, especially in that area right here in a woman, like right past her armpits.
Yeah.
There are lymph nodes right here. And almost all of the tumors that get removed from a woman are related to these lymph nodes. So, as a woman, as women deal with men get breast cancer too, by the way. But, we're seeing acceleration of it, not slowing down. But one of the really cool things about this kind of growing movement for people making all natural deodorant is that people are waking up to how bad this stuff actually is for you.
Yeah.
And, I want, if nothing else happens, I know there's some other owners in here that make all natural deodorant, but this is something that more people need to start doing. They need to start putting the time and effort into detox and start encouraging their spouses and themselves to start using natural deodorant. So, Bearded Death, Dan always says, like, he says that he's an apparel company that makes beard oil, right? Well, I think I told you this the first time I was on your show. Like, I feel like I'm a deodorant and a eczema salve maker who makes beard oil. Because if nobody bought a single bottle of my beard oil for the rest of my time as a company, but I got people to switch to natural deodorant and to use my salve, it's a huge win for me. If we can maybe prevent somebody's loved one from getting breast cancer by getting them switched to natural deodorant, then my job as a company owner will have been fulfilled. So it's a huge deal, and it's one of the main ways that we toxify our bodies right now, besides water. But it's one of the main ways we toxify our bodies right now.
Yeah.
So soapbox off.
Well, it's a great product, so it works great by itself anyway.
Yeah. So oh, you got the dino gas. Every time I see that, Jason, the dino sign, I think of what's that car? Cars. Yeah, I think of that every single time I see that.
Yeah, my grandpap, he was in the army, and he got out, and he bought a house. I think he bought it in 45, but it was a garage. It was a gas station and garage, and he sold Sinclair gas, so that's why we've always been a fan of Sinclair and the dinosaur and stuff, because he used to, yeah. Now I think it's only in the West where you could find Sinclair gas stations.
Yeah.
They're not even over here in the East anymore.
There's a couple in Wisconsin.
Oh,
More
yeah.
north, but they're there.
Yeah, I always think of that. I think that movie, as silly as it is, talking car and all that, there was so much nostalgia that came from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looking at Route 66 and all the, middle America, it reminded you that in its own weird way, how great a small town that had an identity mattered. It was weird that came out of an animated Cars movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie was great for that. Yeah. Uh-oh, Jason.
You go.
There you go, poppers. I wish I had my dog in here. They could have met. Oh, the snorting. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. Boy or girl?
That's a girl. We bred her once, and we got Gus, is one of her pups. We kept him.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, she's the mama.
She is a gloriously beautiful dog.
She is. She's a pretty girl.
Yeah, she was pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, I don't. She wasn't. Well, I don't know if anybody heard me, but we have a bed up here. She'll come up here a lot when my wife's working. But Gus, he decided to come up, and she goes, "It seemed like it was his mission. He come up, went right to it, and pissed on it." So
I think she was snoring when I was on your guys' show a couple months ago.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because she was laying there, and yeah, she'll lay there and snore. I don't know what she's been doing. If she's been laying by the door, if she wants to go back downstairs or not. But
you know, what's funny, Jason. There was at one point where we were talking when I was on the show the last time, and you were like not doing a lot for probably about 15 minutes. I thought it was you snoring. I honestly thought it was you snoring, but now I know it was your dog. Oh man, well, I have a tendency to talk. I could bore anybody to tears, man. So that's hilarious. Yeah, she's a pretty puppy. How old is she?
She'll be 6 this year.
Yeah.
She'll be May 18th, which be in a couple of days, right? What's today? The 14th?
15th.
No, 15th. May 18th, Gus will be 2.
Already.
Yeah.
I want to kind of a True North said they're going to be working on natural deodorant. Listen, I'm no gatekeeper on the natural deodorant. Like, I am 100% willing to help you develop your deodorant and share the things that I have learned during the making of deodorant. The recipe that we came up with and the process for how we made it, you can take it or leave it. But I would say it's perfected at this point. And I am 100% willing to share. So if you want to share notes, or not share notes, but if you'd be willing to let me share my process, I'd be willing to give it to you. So Ronan's doing good. He had the chip removed, and he had a surgery to get into and take some tissue out. He is negative for cancer, but he does have necrotic tissue. So we're going to University of Florida here pretty soon to see if they can do anything for him, and hopefully it'll save us some money. Is where we're at this point. So, see you later, Baker. So that's where we're at. Jason went bye-bye. That's a rad.
Think he's just letting it.
Yeah, that's rad. Is that his last name? No, what is Orton?
Oh, he stole that from Mike.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Mike must have got that on something he brought back from Scotland.
Oh, okay. That's one place I want to go. I want to go so bad. I'd love to go to Scotland.
Yeah, she was standing over by the door, so I let her out.
I got you. Yeah, our family. So we're not 100% sure about where our family actually derived, because there was a couple of different subclans of Bane, but we're fairly certain that our subclan, the castle, is still there. But it's 99% certain. So, but I got a funny story on that. now that I saw that. So I played ice hockey growing up, and I went to West Point for a hockey camp, and it was West Point players, West Point coach. It was an awesome time. So I go up there, and I'm 17 years old. I'm not old enough to go in the bar at the hotel. The hotel used to be a garrison, right? It used to be a gigantic concrete footers in this hotel. It's a gorgeous hotel. So I get to the hotel, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I went down to the lobby to find out if there's any food that I could get. So I'm there by myself. And there's this sign, and it's for a clan that, again, 99% certain is our cousins, like way back as the family was splitting and getting away from England, which we were fugitives from England. One of the reasons why we came to the United States. So I go and I kind of hang out right at the entrance, so I'm not violating any rules. And I call over one of the people that's kind of celebrating in the bar. And I said, "Hey, are you guys part of this clan get together?" And the guy says, "Yeah," in a deep Scottish voice, like, "Yeah, we're from Scotland, and we're visiting our American cousins." And I said, "That's interesting. Like, how many of you are here?" And he goes, "Oh, there's about 40 of us that came over." So it's a big get together. So I said, "Well, I may be a distant cousin." And they said, "What's your name?" Now at this point, or they asked me what my name was. So at this point, there's probably like 20 people listening in, right? So I said, "Well, my last name is Bain." And I kid you not, 20 to 25 people in unison said, "Cousin!" It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So I wish I could have gone and had a drink with them. Of course, I was way too young for that, but it was a riot. To actually be, distant cousins to somebody that was there at this bar, it was pretty cool. It was pretty neat. Family name of ours in Scotland's Bainbridge. That's cool. Right on. That's pretty neat. That's really neat.
That's pretty cool.
So I probably should jump off. I need to go get my foot iced down, which requires me laying down. I had a really good time tonight, guys, and thank you so much for having me on the show. Even if informally, I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys and learning more about the two of you. You guys are really what you guys do, and I think you probably have a lot of owners say this. But what you guys do is really important for all of us, both for the other reviewers who are in the space, but also for a lot of the owners. We're trying to compete with Sasquatch for some reason because they suck, but we're trying to compete with them. So, the fact that you guys have us providing, the opportunity for us to talk and for Brother Amber to do everything that she does, we're really just very grateful for you guys. Very grateful that you give us a platform, because without you guys, word of mouth would be much more difficult. So,
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And, it means a lot to us. It really does.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. We appreciate that. And
Yeah.
if there are any other companies or anything else who want to get on the show, just reach out. We're more than willing. We're always interested in the smaller companies. Just help you get a little bit of information out there. This great community helps support a lot of great companies out there, and these owners are just amazing.
Yeah, and we appreciate having you on. You I mean, I really enjoyed this episode. I mean, I enjoy them all, but you asked some really good questions tonight, and
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of the viewers. Well, I know some of them even commented on some of the answers we gave were spot on and yeah, real interesting and stuff. So yeah, you asked a lot of great questions, and yeah, it made the night go quick. I can't believe it's been almost 2 hours already.
Well, having a multi-prong, you know, interview like this, when you have, like you did a couple weeks ago, and inviting a lot of people on, it's a really cool format. Because a lot of us, I know I said I was going to go, but we only got 4 minutes. So I know a lot of us want to get to know each other better, right? And you know what True North does, I can't do. What I do, True North can't do. And same thing for Raven. And there's all these different ways that we all do different things, and we all do different things well, right? But together, we're able to be better. And even though we might share ideas, True North may take that idea and run differently than I would, or differently than Raven would, right? We all have a different way of doing things, and doing that, we make the community better, right? Yeah. And that's what makes this so cool, is that we just have the ability to cross-pollinate ideas, and we all get better. And maybe we do take a segment away from Dr. Squatch, right? Or maybe we do take a segment away from some of the other big box garbage that's out there who they don't care about their products. And by us having these discussions together, it betters all of us, right? But then True North may make a product that does not work for a customer, but works for you, and you don't know that. But because you do this, we all learn about each other, and it's just like True North just said, it's people helping people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest things about the show.
Yeah.
Help
Yeah,
us
but
motivate us to keep doing it.
Yeah, thank God we all do the same thing. Amen.
Mhm.
Sure. Be really boring, right?
Yeah.
It'd be really boring. So.
Yes, we're trying to get to schedule more community nights. It just happens. We're trying to get these companies on, and
Right.
the dates they can make it. So
I'm gonna tell you right now, So at the grocery stores I'm at, Dr. Squatch is above my stuff,
Mm.
and it really irritates me. I'm not gonna lie, I get really irritated by it because it's a small local grocery, and they want local products there, right?
Yeah.
But Dr. Squatch has 3 shelves, and I have my little half shelf. And I'm just like, why can't we really push this idea, right? And I love the grocery store I'm at. I'm not really complaining. But Dr. Squatch is able to produce so much, and they're able to send out so much stuff, and they make money by volume. So they'll sell 100,000 bars of soap, and they're making $3 or $4 wholesale on a couple of bars of soap. So they're making good money. But when I make soap coming up, it's probably going to be $12 per a bar of soap. And that's the only way we'll make money. So it's just, yeah, it's frustrating for sure. I don't enjoy it. But I'm very grateful. I as much as I don't like it, I'm grateful. The fact that I even have a presence is extraordinarily, it's a huge blessing, so.
Well, we appreciate all the support, everyone. I think we're gonna just wind down the show anyway.
Yep.
Make sure to check us out next Thursday, and we'll be talking all about True North next week.
All right, looking forward to it.
And respect the journey. We'll catch you next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Have a good Friday, everybody.
Bye, guys.